Oof. Alright, let's do it. Chuck the heater on, that'll make it a bit nicer. This is obviously the battery, we've had that for a while. I think today I'm going to put the solar panels on and take it down through that outlet, and then I can start doing all the wiring in here. Before I do that though, I'm just going to put 2 more clips in the back of the stove. I know I said it was firm, but I've got the clips, and that is firm. I might put 1 just at the back there maybe. Don't need to film that one, we'll just do it and flash forward to this other stuff. Alright, I got sidetracked again. I've made a bit of a mess down here. That outlet just there for the sink, when I had it all running the ends to test it, the sink was just backing up and filling it with water. I let the sink fill up with the plug in and then took the plug off and ran out here, and there was just a trickle coming out this pipe, nothing. So I put a hose back up and cleaned it out and flushed it, and a little bit of dirt came out, not much, a little bit of stuff. And all of a sudden, all this white stuff started coming out. It was really weird. It looked like fish scales, to be honest, but I think it's just plastic that's broken down in there. Someone's put something down there and it's clogged up a bit. That sort of flushed out. All I've really done is just neatened up the pipes a little bit. That little guy there is still leaking that high pressure fitting. I've got a new one coming. I shortened this pipe here so there's not as much loop down under here. Siliconed all the joints, so there's silicon between this, silicon in this one, and then this is just PVC glued, and that's all done up. So the sink's pretty much done, doesn't leak at all. That's the only leak I've got now is that fitting, so that should be fine. I haven't tested 12 volt. Might be able to do that today because the old sink wiring that terminates here, someone's ripped out, pretty much matches up with mine. So I'll do a couple of joins, follow that down, and I think that comes up under that cupboard. Bit to do before then, but we'll see how we go. So that's kind of that one done. Pretty sure I got the stove working. Yeah, stove's working. It's weird. No difference between high and low at all. I have to go literally to off to just before off to get that step down. What must to do with the regulator? They had a regulator in-house with this that came with the box. I didn't use it. I used the one in the front of the Caravan. I don't think I needed to be double regulated. I changed the jets over, obviously. Anyway, toasty warm up there. I'm just doing a bit of a clean up from the water stuff, and we'll start doing the wiring stuff. Okay, that took a while. Got some stuff gathered. It looks nice and clean. So this is, I don't know if this is all of it, but it's most of the stuff we're putting up. Solar panel's still in the shed. I'm going to grab that in a second. Got 3, or I think we've got 4 of these. These are just warm white LED battens, super slim line, and they're pre-sealed. You can just daisy chain them, or you can put 1 or 2. These are just going underneath the kitchen, around the L shape, just to give some light when we're on off-grid, off the 12 volt battery, because on-grid we've got some lights in there already. I've got some fuses. I've got a low voltage cutoff. This guy's pretty cool. He can take power from the solar panels to the battery, and also from the car to the battery, so it's always charging. It's a 6-stage smart charger. It's pretty neat. I've got a heap of Anderson leads. They're pretty much the cheapest way to buy a really thick gauge wire. I think they're like $20 for 10 meters. So if you use them as an Anderson lead, they're great. You can chop them up and use them as just the wiring. It's a heavy duty wire. So 1000 watt inverter, peaks 2000. That's pretty much all we need. Could step it up later to 2000, 4000 watt inverter, but I think that's going to be fine. This is the mounting hardware for the solar panel on the roof. I've got a dimmer for these LED lights. This is one of these things you buy on eBay and the size is totally different. These are reading lights off 12 volt, and I thought they'd be about yay big, maybe a bit bigger. They're a little barrel light. They are so tiny. It's pretty cute. Sorry, they're like 30 millimeters long or something. They're absolutely tiny, but they're cute. So I didn't want anything too much bigger anyway. So they'll just sit up in that corner, either top fixed to the bulkhead or on the wall. Probably the bulkhead because I can get wiring into the cupboards really easily. Then you don't have to have any wiring on the wall. Importantly, I had to find one with a switch on it. I didn't want to run a switch down to the wall anyway. So that's really easy to wire up basically. Positive and negative. 2 of those, and then these replace those hanging 240 volt lights up there, which are a bit dated. That's a huge mounting plate. Anyway, and again, they've got a little switch on the end here. So, pretty cool. I think they actually open up too. I guess to change the bulb over, plus you can have a different style, but you can then notch it back down again, which is pretty neat. They look pretty funky, not overly expensive. This is the heart of it all. This is a 200 amp hour, is it 200? What did I get in the end? No, 170 amp hour. I can't even remember what it was, but this is where the first thing I bought. Oh yeah, 170. There's a bit of stuff to wire up, and probably should start with just laying it out and maybe even popping that solar panel through while it's not raining, because if you pop that solar panel up now and bring the wires down to here, I mean, it's a good start, right? Might as well do that. Take that off. That feeds down there into there. That comes out there. I don't know if I should be able to get it through that because it's a pretty tight little hole. See how we go. First things first, pull the power off because I don't want to die. Cool, no power. Took me a while to find the hole because it looks like everything else up here, but that's it just there. So it's a really thin layer of probably aluminium. So we just probably make that a tiny bit larger. And there's a piece that goes over here with some Sikaflex, gets silicon down so no water can come back through it. And the solar panel sits over the top of all this just to the side here. So I think I'm just going to put it just in here. Nothing leaks up here, which is a great start for an older caravan. But that's a leak point, so let's get cracking and seal it up. I don't know what he's doing, but he's vibrating. I'm gonna let him stay there for a bit. He looks tuck it out. Holy, look at the size of this panel. That's massive. Like, we've got house panels up, and I was gonna use them originally. I got some spares here. There's, 20 or so on the house. They keep us going. I mean, that's fine being up on the roof of the house. We don't care about weight so much. I just wanted to take the weight down on the rooftop, so I got a smaller, newer style one. These are 175 watts. That's 300 watts, but I totally forgot how big this was. It's a whopper. In my head it was like a quarter of that size, so it's still pretty big. So he has like an Anderson plug adapter coming from these, I can't remember what they're called, like C something adapters, I think. But that's just going to feed straight down into the roof. Take that plug off and feed it down and connect it again. Cool. It was funny the way they sent this stuff out. This is the corner mounting brackets for it. They posted that in one lot, and they posted this little guy in another lot. It must be cheaper separating that up than trying to squish that in there. And then maybe they come from 2 different spots. Holy, I was just mucking around with it for 2 seconds, and I just plugged that in, and the end just pulled out of these crap connectors. So I'm going to ditch both of those, because at one stage it looked like I could just fit them in like that, silicon that edge, and we'd be right. But that was a crap join. So I think I'm going to ditch them, and we'll just put the wires straight through, and I'll do my own joins. Well, that perfect timing. Started raining as I put a hole in the roof of the caravan, so that's awesome. Might put the corners on in here since we're inside again. Cool, 4 corners are on. I've chopped those ends off on the plugs. They were rubbish. So these just get some Sikaflex on the feet that's pretty much it. They don't get drilled down into the roof because there's nothing in the roof. So I've run the panel this way. Probably can't fit another one beside it, but I can put one behind it, just so that I get the most amount of lead down through the ceiling, because the lead's centered just there. And I'll put this panel over this box which sits over the hole after I run it all through. So they're all mounted on. They moved a little bit, but they're a nicer fit now, like the edges actually line up with the roof. Down plate's covered by the panel anyway, but that's sealed the whole way around. It's starting to rain a bit, I might go inside and grab some food. Solar panels on. You can see the curve better from here on the roof, which is what was making it difficult for me to get those feet on the right angle. I think I've moved the curve. The curve was like dead center down this end, and I feel like it's come in there to the side on the solar panel, but as long as it sticks, I don't really care. I need full hands. I'll put that there. What are we getting? .22 volts, 22.5 volts. That's pretty cool. Now I can start wiring inside. Doesn't matter if it rains now. I mean, it does. I want that glue to go off, but. I think I might do something like this, just to free up a bit of space. I can put a partition here so that this can be used for something. Won't lose all the storage, or just leave it open. It'll be screwed down anyway. Stacks of room there. It's going to be a bit of heat coming out of this stuff, I reckon, so I might ventilate it. Alright, we've got a bit of a mess going on here. This is going to jump to this because I started doing some wiring after work and it was pretty boring, so I didn't record any of it. But I might just update it, I think, because there's a bit going on. Last time I recorded anything, I was finishing the solar panel, and that wasn't that long ago. I think it was 2 days ago. Solar panels are on the roof now. They come down through this wire, and then in here we've got solar panel wiring just coming through a fuse box, no fuse in it currently, and then going to just a disconnect, and the Anderson plug disconnect then goes down through the cupboards at the top. Out through that cupboard down here, I'll buy some white conduit to hide that cable, and then underneath there by the wheel arch, and then back down to the battery. That's done. These guys are in situ for wiring. I'm just doing some testing because there's a whole lot of wires coming out the floor. Figured out with the voltmeter that that is the trailer input. They must have had an Anderson plug on the front of this trailer. So that goes to a cut off wires in the front of the Caravan. That goes to cut off wires under the Caravan for maybe side Anderson plugs or some side power takeoff, so it's no longer in use. They've just cut them under the Caravan hanging loose. this, currently connected to it, goes straight down across about 30 centimeters and back up under the fridge. So I think it's the fridge power, mains power for the fridge, with just one other power cable by itself. And unless you connect this one and that power cable, the fridge doesn't work. Well, I actually don't know the fridge works, but the power coming off the fridge that then goes to the water pump doesn't work. So you've got to have two powers and a negative connected to get that pump to work. So it's super confusing. I don't know why that is yet. I haven't really knuckled down into it. All I've done here is replace that John Guest water fitting that was broken. That's just the type of fitting it was. So that guy got replaced just then, and that's holding water. It's not leaking currently. So that's got water coming out the tap now. Eventually, bit of air first. I've wired this pump to a switch here, just so you can flick it on and off easily, and not have to reach into anywhere under where the battery is. But that pump was mounted on the wall there and went up to the other side of the tap. I was getting no water out of the bottom sub tank at all, and then I've just taken it all apart to test what's going on. I got no vacuum, nothing. Even I thought maybe the one-way check valves were just ruining it, so I took them off. And I just realized that the pump attached upside down. So I'm flipping the pump over currently, and then we'll do another test. Okay, fixed that little problem. Pump is reversed, which is annoying because I put the holes in the right spot if it was the other way around, but it still works and it's at the back. I've got a slight leak on that diaphragm from the pump. The actual pump itself's leaking. I'll see if I can turn the pressure down manually, or maybe take it apart and put another gasket in there or something. But that's all working. So I think right now, just to show you, so you got this side to the right, you got mains water. To the left, we've got 12 volt pump water, but you got to turn the pump on first down here. Pump water, turn it off, pump starts working, and you can just leave it like that. Once I fix that leak, you better leave it like that overnight and just come and use it when you want to pump it starts up, which is pretty cool off the same faucet. So